This is my presentation on the state of the U.S. infrastructure, challenges, impacts, and the path forward. Imagine this. You're driving across the same bridge you take to work every day, commuting like usual, only to hear on the news that it's been rated structurally deficient. It's not a scene from a disaster movie. That's real life for tens of millions of Americans. Across the country, the systems we rely on, roads, water, electricity, broadband, are aging, overburdened, and in many cases, failing. Today I want to walk you through the true state of the United States infrastructure, what's breaking down, how it affects our lives, what it will take to rebuild smarter, stronger, and fairer, because infrastructure may be made of steel and concrete, but its impact is deeply human. Today I want to inform you about the state of the United States infrastructure, how years of neglect have led to serious consequences, and the critical role in both engineering and policymakers must play to rebuild it. What I'm sharing is based on the research from the United States Infrastructure by McBride, Brennan, which draws from reliable sources like the American Society of Civil Engineers. Together we will look at three main areas: the technical condition of our infrastructure, the societal and economic impacts of its decline, and strategies being proposed to address this urgent issue. Point number one is the current condition and technical challenges of our infrastructure. Let's start with the facts. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers in 2021 report card, U.S. infrastructure earned a C-, and that's barely passing. And when you break it down, the problems become even clearer. Our roads are chronically congested, costing drivers both time, money. Bridges, over 40% of them, are more than 50 years old, and many are approaching the end of their designed life. Water systems are leaking an estimated 6 billion gallons of treated water every day. That isn't just inefficient, it's dangerous. One of the core issues is age. Much of our infrastructure was built in the mid-20th century during the time of rapid post-war growth. But those systems were never designed to meet the demands of the 21st century. Highways are overburdened, electrical grids are outdated, and water pipes are deteriorating. Take Flint, Michigan water crisis, for example. Old lead pipes cause widespread contamination, impacting thousands of residents, especially children. Consider our power grid, which struggles to handle renewable energy sources like solar and wind, and lack of flexibility to adapt to climate-related disruptions like extreme weather and wildfires. What we are facing is not just wear and tear, it's structural mismatch between old systems and modern needs. The technical challenges are immense, and they affect nearly every aspect of daily life. Addressing them requires not just funding, but engineering, innovation, and strategic modernization. Point number two, societal and economic impacts. When we think about infrastructure failures, It's tempting to reduce them to broken roads or rusty pipes, but the truth is much deeper. Infrastructure failures deepen inequality and threaten public welfare. Take the daily consequences. Poor road conditions mean more wear and tear on vehicles, leading to frequent repairs and unexpected costs. Long commutes on outdated highways result in lost time, lost productivity, and added stress. These issues don't just inconvenience us, they have a real economic impact on individuals and families. But it's not an equal burden. Disadvantaged communities, especially rural and low-income neighborhoods, are hit the hardest. These areas are often the last to receive funding, upgrades, or maintenance. Their roads go unrepaired, their water systems deteriorate, their power grids remain fragile. The consequences can be dangerous. Contaminated drinking water or frequent service outages at public health threats, not just infrastructure problems. Communities like Flint, Michigan remind us that the aging systems fail. Most vulnerable suffer the most. And then the digital divide. In today's world, reliable broadband isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. Yet rural communities still lack access to high-speed internet. That means limited access to education, fewer job opportunities, and barriers to telehealth. In short, entire communities are being left behind. So while infrastructure might seem like a technical issue, its impacts are deeply human. It shapes who gets opportunity, who gets left out. And that's why solving it is not just an engineering challenge, it's a social responsibility. Third point is solutions and the path forward. While the challenges facing our infrastructure are significant, there are also real, reliable solutions underway. A major turning point came from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021, a $1.2 trillion investment aimed to rebuild and modernize America's infrastructure. This act represents a foundational shift from short-term fixes to long-term planning. On the engineering side, we're seeing introduction of innovative materials like ultra-high performance concrete and corrosion-resistant composites. Smart technology is also being developed to monitor infrastructure in real time, helping detect issues before they become critical. The legislation also prioritizes broadband expansion, especially in rural areas, and supports modernization of aging water systems, which is critical for both health and efficiency. However, implementing these solutions isn't without challenges. There's a growing shortage of skilled engineers, and many infrastructure projects are on delay by lengthy approval processes. To address this, we need to invest in workforce development, offering training programs that equip future engineers and tradespeople with the skills needed for the next generation infrastructure. And finally, equality and sustainability must remain at the forefront. That means prioritizing underserved communities in infrastructure planning and building systems that can withstand the impacts of climate change. In short, the path forward requires more than just money. It demands collaboration between engineers, policymakers, and communities to create infrastructure that is not only functional, but also fair, resilient, and future ready. To summarize, America's infrastructure is aging and under increasing strain. From deteriorating roads to outdated water systems to unreliable broadband and overburdened power grids, the consequences touch every part of daily life. These failures don't just inconvenience, they deepen inequality and create barriers to health, education, and opportunity. But there is hope. With smart engineering, targeted investment, and effective policy, the path forward is clear. Infrastructure isn't just what we build. It's about who we serve and how we shape the future. As we move forward, let's remember this. Infrastructure may be built of steel and concrete, but its impact is deeply human. If we rebuild smartly and fairly, we don't just repair structures, we repair society.